In our modern world, plastic is everywhere, from the packaging of our food to clothing to personal care products to everyday items like water bottles and storage containers. While plastics offer convenience, it also comes with hidden dangers, particularly concerning women's health. On today's show, I'll explore the link between plastics and hormonal imbalances, the risks, along with 4 healthy alternatives. So friend, if you're ready to ditch the plastic to keep your health clean on the inside and out, then grab a notebook and pen and let's dive in. Hey friend, welcome to Integrative Medicine for Energy and Health. Are you struggling with low energy, excessive weight, chronic fatigue, imbalanced hormones, or body aches and pains that are robbing you of enjoying life? If you're ready to take the guesswork out of living a healthier life, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Rekishia. I'm a mom, honorably retired Air Force veteran, award-winning author, social worker, and Christian alternative medicine provider. For years, I tried improving my health through conventional medicine and nothing worked until I finally found a simple strategy that was easy and fun. This podcast will provide you with natural ways to increase energy, lose weight, regulate hormones, and improve your mood. If you're ready to live, look, and feel better, grab your favorite cup of herbal tea and let's jump in. Greetings and welcome to another episode of Integrative Medicine for Energy and Health. I'm your host, Rekishia McMillan, and each week on this podcast, I am passionate about sharing simple, holistic strategies to help you increase energy, lose weight, and balance hormones. Now, depending on what stage of life you're in, every woman's health goals are different. You may be in perimenopause, menopause, or even postmenopause, but no matter where you're at, I believe that as you listen in week after week, you are going to hear something that will grab your attention to help you to take actionable steps that will leave you feeling, looking, and living better. If you're listening for the first time, a very special welcome to the show. And if you've been a longtime friend of the community, I appreciate your faithful listening support. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on the latest health content. Today's episode is one that I believe that every woman needs to hear. I'm going to be talking about the dangers of plastic and hormonal imbalance in women, understanding the risks, along with exploring healthy alternatives. We are living in a time when we are in an all-out war to remain healthy. Every day there's a battle against our pharmaceutical companies, our faltering healthcare system, and ineffective approaches that don't address the root cause of helping women to become well. In just this past week, I had a number of conversations with women who shared the struggle of seeing their doctor, but not getting the help that they needed because the root cause was not addressed. They were only given medication to cover up the symptoms, but there was no solution at all. As an integrative medicine provider, my goal is to always address the root of the health issues to help heal the body. It's like being an investigator. The symptoms are only clues that lead to what is happening. And the clues could be body aches and pains, skin rashes, hot flashes. These are signs of imbalances taking place within the body. The imbalances could be associated with a number of factors like stress or processed food, the environment, genetics, or even medication. And one hidden danger that impacts hormonal imbalance has to do with plastics. And as I shared during the introduction of the show, plastics are literally in everything. And before I knew about the dangers of plastics, I used to carry one case of water in my trunk in my car. I always wanted to make sure that I had water with me, and it just seemed to be one of the most convenient ways to ensure that I was drinking water. But I didn't realize that this was a major health hazard for my hormones. It seemed harmless, and you might be wondering, well, what's the problem? Well, I want to share 5 hidden dangers of plastics. The first hidden danger is that plastic is an endocrine disruptor. And just to give you a little bit of a background on the endocrine system, it's a network of glands that produce and release hormones. And these hormones regulate many vital functions within our body, including metabolism, growth and development, our mood, and reproductive processes. So it really helps to maintain balance or homeostasis within the body. And plastics contain chemicals known as endocrine disruptors, such as bisphenol A or BPA for short. And these chemicals can mimic or interfere with the body's hormones, particularly estrogen. And for women, this can lead to an imbalance in our hormone levels, affecting everything from our reproductive health to mood stability. And over time, exposure to these disruptors can contribute to conditions such as polycystic ovary syndrome or PCOS, irregular menstrual cycles, and even an increased risk of cancers. The second danger is that plastics impact mental health. Hormonal imbalances that are caused by exposure to plastic chemicals can have a profound, crucial effect on our mental health. That's because estrogen plays a vital role in regulating our mood, and disruptions to its balance can lead to anxiety, depression, as well as mood swings. And women with higher exposure to endocrine disruptors may experience more pronounced mental health challenges, which affects their overall quality of life. The third danger is that plastics lead to decreased energy and fatigue. Our hormones are essential regulators of energy levels within the body. And when these hormones are disrupted, it can lead to chronic fatigue and a general sense of low energy. And women may find themselves feeling tired even after a full night's sleep or unable to muster the energy for daily activities. And this depletion can be frustrating as well as impact both personal and your professional life. The fourth danger is that plastics result in poor sleep quality. Now, sleep is essential for our overall health and well-being, but hormonal imbalances can interfere with the body's natural sleep-wake cycle. And disruptors like BPA can alter melatonin production, making it difficult to fall asleep or stay asleep throughout the night. And poor sleep quality, in turn, exacerbates other health issues, which create a vicious cycle of deteriorating health. Now, for a deeper dive into how sleep impacts our health, I want to invite you to listen to podcast episode 124, where I cover 3 ways that sleep impacts metabolic health and what you can do to improve it. The fifth and the final danger is that microplastics can lead to serious illnesses. Now, microplastics are tiny particles of plastic that can leach from food containers or even plastic water bottles. And when ingested, microplastics become lodged within the cells of the body, within the organs such as the heart. They've even been found within the placenta and the bloodstream. High doses of microplastics can harm the kidneys and have been found to be associated with altered gut health. And so, as you can see, plastics can wreak havoc on your overall health. And now I want to talk about the hidden sources of plastics in everyday life. Many women are aware of the dangers of plastic water bottles and food packaging, but plastics are hidden in many other everyday items that we may not immediately consider. And when I started down this path, I had no idea how much plastic was in my environment. So I want to share some of the areas that were not so noticeable that I had to really take a look at and think about how they could have been impacting my hormonal health. And so I started in the kitchen with utensils and cookware. And nonstick cookware, such as those Teflon pans, they often contain that plastic-based coating that can release harmful chemicals when they're heated. And even utensils that are made from certain plastics can leach chemicals into the food, especially when exposed to heat. And you can even be exposed to microplastics from cutting boards and from the twisting caps of those plastic bottles. Another area that I had to look at was my drinking glasses and my dishes. And many drinking glasses and dishes are made from or they're coated with plastic, which can leach chemicals into food and drinks, especially when heated or scratched. Another area was storage containers. And I have a lot of containers, but way back when, I used to have a lot of plastic food containers. And this is one of the most common sources of plastic exposure. And when these containers are used to store hot food or they're microwaved, they can release those endocrine disrupting chemicals into the food, especially when they're reheated or washed. And then the final area that I had to look at was my personal care products. And plastics are also hidden in many personal care products, including our shampoos, lotions, cosmetics. And these really come in the form of those microplastics or plastic-derived chemicals. And so, as I became aware of these hidden dangers, I slowly made changes to remove plastics from my life and replace them with healthy alternatives to balance my hormones and improve my overall health. Now, because of the significant impact that plastics can have on hormonal health, it is crucial to explore healthy alternatives that can help to restore balance and improve your overall well-being. And so one of the first things that I did is that I opted for glass and stainless steel containers. Now, one of the simplest steps that you can take is to replace your plastic containers with glass or stainless steel. And that's because these materials do not leach harmful chemicals into your food or your drinks, and they are safer for both you, your health, and the environment. And I used to carry my lunch to work every day in plastic containers, and I used to heat my food up in the microwave. And I didn't know about leaching or endocrine disruption. But thankfully, after these many years, I no longer use plastics or the microwave. Now, using the microwave is an entirely separate podcast because microwave food can alter the production of female hormones in our body. And eating microwave food can also contribute to PCOS as well as infertility. It can also affect the maintenance of our hormonal balance. So the best practice is using glass or stainless steel for food storage, water bottles. For me, I have a glass water bottle that I care faithfully, and I also have a couple of stainless steel water bottles as well. And so even with cooking utensils, this can significantly reduce your exposure to endocrine disruptors. The second thing that I did is that I began to choose organic and natural products. That's because many personal care products, such as shampoos, lotions, cosmetics, these contain plastic-derived chemicals. And I write about this in my book, Rock Your World Naturally: 7 Divine Keys to Unlock Extraordinary Health. I talk about how there are not specific laws in place that protect us from the chemicals that are being produced in these products. And so opting for organic and natural products reduces your exposure to harmful substances, which are often used in fragrances. And so you want to make sure that you're looking for products that are labeled BPA free to ensure that you're making safer choices. And over the years, I have become very mindful about my personal care products, from the lotion that I use to the soaps to hair care products. And if you need help on choosing the right personal care products, I highly recommend the Environmental Working Group's app, Healthy Living. It contains thousands of products that are Environmental Working Group verified, that are free of chemicals of concern, and meet the highest standards of health and transparency. And so I'll make sure that I leave that link for you in today's show notes. The third thing that I did is that I began to use natural utensils and cookware. So I switched to wooden utensils and ceramic cookware because these are safer alternatives to plastic or Teflon coated options, and wood doesn't leach chemicals, making it a healthier choice for your cooking or your baking. And ceramic stands out because it is highly heat resistant. It really surpasses plastic when it comes to durability. And these containers can withstand high temperatures while resisting scratches and chipping. And ceramic is safe for use in the oven, the freezer, making them good for reheating as well as storing leftovers. And I love cooking in ceramics, again, because I know that it's safe. Even when it comes to storing things, you're not going to have to worry about that chemical leaching. And then the fourth and the final thing that I did is that I began to use reusable produce bags for my food. Now, reducing your intake of processed food and packaged food can help to minimize your exposure to plastic chemicals. Now, one of the things that I love, for those of you that have been listening to me, I absolutely love shopping at farmers markets because the fruits, the vegetables, they are not in plastic containers, they're not in plastic bags. But what you can do is that you can use reusable produce bags that are either cotton mesh or compostable bags. And reusable produce bags, they help to reduce plastic waste, which is a major environmental concern. And so by cutting down on a single-use plastic bag, you can help to contribute to decreasing pollution in our oceans as well as our landfills. And unlike plastic bags, which can trap moisture and accelerate spoilage, many reusable produce bags, they're breathable. And so they help to keep your fruits and your vegetables fresher longer. And so although there may be an initial investment, the reusable produce bags can help you to save money over time, as well as reduce the need for constantly purchasing single-use plastic bags. And so replacing plastics with these 4 healthier options was one of the best things that I could have done for my health. And like so many women, I didn't know that plastics created hormonal imbalances. And so making mindful choices and switching to safer materials can help to protect your health as well as promote hormonal balance. So let's wrap it all up. The dangers of plastics extend far beyond environmental concerns. They pose a major threat to women's hormonal health. From endocrine disruption to mental health challenges, decreased energy, and poor sleep, the impact of plastic chemicals on the body is profound. Taking these steps not only improves your well-being, but also empowers you to live a healthier, more balanced life in a world where plastics are all too common. Prioritizing these changes can lead to significant improvements in your overall health, allowing you to thrive both physically and mentally. I want to thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Integrative Medicine for Energy and Health. If you were blessed by today's show or learned something new, be sure to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. I'll leave you with Psalm chapter 5, verses 11 and 12. But let all who take refuge in you rejoice. Let them ever sing for joy, and spread your protection over them, that those who love your name may exalt in you. For you bless the righteous, O Lord. You cover him with favor as with a shield. Hey friend, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who may want to have more energy and improve their health naturally? Also, I would love it if you could leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It blesses me tremendously to know that this podcast is helping you. Alrighty then, it's time to go make a protein shake and go for a hike. No more days of feeling tired and drained. I'll see you in a few days for another episode. God bless.